At DLPA, we often work with organisations who ask the question of why really good workers do still seem to make some really poor decisions or engage in some really risky behaviour. And it's really important for organisations to understand that oftentimes it's context, not character, which is actually driving those behaviours. The first and most obvious root cause is deadlines or time pressure, where people feel that they just don't have time to go through the processes, or where they feel under pressure to make a decision right now and they forget to go through some of the fact-checking processes that you would usually do. Another root cause of this behaviour that we often see is normalisation of the deviance, where it actually becomes the standard way of doing things, that you don't fully follow a process. So small rule bending becomes normalised over time, and people might say, I skipped that last step because it never gets caught, or it needs to go out now, so don't worry about that bit. Overconfidence or moral licensing is another reason why we would see this type of behaviour. That's where workers might say, I've done this 1,000 times, I know what I'm doing, I don't need to go through those gates. And lastly, poor role clarity can lead to this type of behaviour, where workers are unclear of their role, how they add value, or the expectations put on them. They can engage in some of this risky behaviour without really understanding its consequences. In order to correct these root causes within your organisation, there's some pretty simple things that you can do straight away. Firstly, spot the conditions within your organisation. Look at where the pressure is occurring for your workforce so that you know where to intervene. Reinforce the why. Have people be clear about their purpose and how they add value to the organisation so that they know where to take risks and where not to. Create safe spaces for challenge. Look at having incubators where people can engage with risk effectively in a way that isn't going to topple the organisation, so that they develop a really healthy relationship with risk. And audit and debrief. Normalise risk within your organisation, but develop a deep understanding of how it ripples through other elements of the organisation. We know that at times good people can make very bad decisions, and these can have huge impacts on an organisation. But through some simple interventions, you can make sure that your good people are better equipped to make really great decisions.